All right, welcome to a really quick rapid-fire revision explainer all about network security. We're zeroing in on section 1.4 of the OCR GCSE Computer Science spec, and trust me, in the next few minutes, we are going to nail the key concepts you need to walk into that exam feeling confident.
So, are you ready for this? This is all about knowing the threats, and, way more importantly, knowing exactly how to stop them. Let's kick things off with the attacks themselves.
Okay, first up, you've got to understand the enemy. The specification has 6 key forms of attack that you absolutely have to know. So, let's meet them one by one.
So, malware is kind of the big catch-all term. Think of it like the main villain category for all sorts of nasty software. Viruses, spyware, ransomware. Its one and only job is to cause trouble for a computer. Simple as that.
Now, phishing is different. See, it doesn't attack the computer directly. It attacks you, the user. It's basically a scam, usually a fake email or text message, trying to trick you into giving away your secrets. And remember this, because it's a big deal for the exam. People are often seen as the weakest link in any security system.
A brute force attack is, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. Just pure, relentless guessing. Imagine you're trying to open a combination lock by trying 001, then 002 all the way through. Now picture a computer doing that millions of times a second to crack a password. That's brute force. Think of a denial of service attack like a huge digital traffic jam. It just swamps a server with so many requests that it gets totally overwhelmed and can't help any of the real users. It's like a massive crowd blocking the door to your favorite shop, so no actual customers can get in. This one's pretty much digital eavesdropping. When you send data over a network, especially on something like public Wi-Fi, well, an attacker can literally grab that data out of the air and read it. It's just like someone tapping into a phone line to listen to your private conversation. Okay, SQL injection sounds a bit techy, but the idea is actually pretty clever. It's an attack on websites that use databases. The attacker types a nasty bit of database code into a normal input box, like a search bar. If the website isn't protected, it might just run that code by mistake. And boom, the attacker could get access to the entire database. So there they are, the big 6. Malware, phishing, brute force, denial of service, data interception, and SQL injection. You need to have these 6 threats locked and loaded in your memory for the exam. Okay, now that we know what we're up against, let's talk about how we fight back. We've met the villains. Now let's bring in the heroes. Section 1.4.2 of the spec gives us this awesome toolkit of prevention methods. Right, we've got 2 main approaches here. Penetration testing is proactive. You're basically hiring a friendly hacker to find all the weak spots before a real attacker does. A firewall, on the other hand, is your constant reactive defense. It's like a digital wall that checks all the traffic coming in and out, and it blocks anything that looks suspicious. This one's like your system's personal doctor. Anti-malware software is always on the lookout for infections. It scans your files, puts anything dangerous into quarantine, and just generally helps keep your system healthy and clean. User access levels. This is all about damage control. By setting up different permissions, you make sure that even if one person's account gets hacked, the attacker can't get to everything. A student account, for example, should have absolutely no way of accessing the school's financial records, right? And here are 3 more absolutely essential methods. Encryption is what scrambles the data itself, turning it into unreadable gibberish. Passwords, well, they're the keys that guard the doors to all your accounts. And physical security is just what it sounds like, literally locking the door to the server room so nobody can just walk in and steal the computer. Okay, now for what is honestly the most important bit, applying your knowledge. The exam isn't just going to ask you for definitions. Nope. It'll give you a scenario and ask you to pick and justify the best way to prevent an attack. Let's practice a few. So picture this, a company sending sensitive files across the network. They're terrified someone's going to eavesdrop and steal them. What's the best tool to protect the data itself while it's flying through the air? The answer is encryption. But why? That's the part that gets you the marks. Because even if a hacker grabs those files, all they'll have is a bunch of scrambled nonsense. Without the secret key to decrypt it, that data is totally worthless to them. That's your justification right there.
All right, here's another one, a classic school network problem. The goal is to control which websites people on the network can visit and which ones they can't. So which tool in our toolkit is designed specifically for that job? Yep, it's got to be a firewall. A firewall is like a bouncer at the door of your network. The school can set up rules that say, block all traffic going to gaming websites, or don't let anything in from this known bad address. It is all about filtering based on a set of rules.
Okay, last one. Remember that brute force attack? The one that's just guessing passwords over and over and over again? So what's the most direct way to make that guessing game practically impossible for the attacker?
The best defense is a strong password. And it really just comes down to simple math. Every single character you add, especially if it's a mix of uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and symbols, makes the total number of possible combinations explode. A simple password might take seconds to crack. A strong one could literally take centuries.
All right, let's bring it all home. To really secure those top marks in the exam, you need to focus on these key takeaways. Think of this as your final checklist.
1. Know the purpose of those 6 attacks. 2. Be able to explain how each of the 7 prevention methods actually works. 3. And listen up, because this is where the big marks are, be ready to connect them, to justify why one defense is perfect for a specific threat. And finally, use the right lingo. Use the keywords from the spec like social engineering or penetration testing.
And there you have it. You now have all the key knowledge you need for Section 1.4. Keep practicing applying these ideas to different scenarios, and you are going to be in a fantastic spot for your exam. Good luck with the rest of your revision.